Trigger warning. Sexual assault is discussed in this episode.
Single Simulcast is about a lot of things. This podcast may make you laugh, cry, or pound your fists into your desk. If you hear something you like or something you don't, leave a voicemail at 916-572-9016 or email us at singlesimulcast@gmail.com.
1. Single Simulcast.
Single Simulcast, episode 327. Shanta's here. I'm here. And we are joined by two absolutely wonderful, wonderful people. From the Cook and The Gooch podcast, we got the Cook and The Gooch. Hey, which one of y'all want to tell them something about yourself and tell them something about your show? The floor is yours.
Hey everybody, this is Cook, and we got Gooch here, and we are two single moms who love to get together and do hood rat things with our friends and talk shit. So that's pretty much what we came to do tonight. Okay.
Yeah, it's the perfect time because I got some shit to get off my chest, and yeah. So a couple days ago, a white guy ran up into McDonald's. And just so y'all know, before we even begin, episode 327, usually we'll do the show, and then we'll have a funny moment or something that'll stand out, and then from that funny moment, we'll decide what the show is called. But this episode is straight up called Trashman. A white dude ran up into McDonald's and caught them hands because he wanted to try and get violent with the cashier, who was a young black woman, and didn't know that niggas ain't just gonna sit back and accept hands anymore. The bank is closed. We ain't accepting any more deposits. So instead, he got a couple withdrawals. And from what I'd heard initially, was that she got fired instead of getting promoted. But it turned out she didn't get fired. She was on leave.
Okay.
Still got issues with it. There was a lot of niggas who were standing in the back just watching. Always got a problem with niggas just standing back watching. Like, I realize that y'all are... No, I don't. Like, seriously, y'all are maybe like, I don't want to lose my job or something like that, but when the shit hits the fan, you gotta ride for your coworkers. You gotta ride for your fam, and for them to just stand back and just watch, that made me feel some kind of way. Like, there's a lot of folks who will sit back and say, the reason why I didn't jump in is because of this or because of that. But the bottom line is, if you were in an altercation with anybody, let alone a customer, you would want somebody to come and stand up for you. And we've seen two videos in the past couple of weeks where in one video, inside the restaurant at KFC, it was all black women who were working there, and they immediately squatted up. Like, they were like, we got your back no matter what. When this dude came in there, I don't even know. I think it was a joke video that he was trying to do that just went wrong or something.
I playing with him.
They were ready to take his eye out. Like, nigga, like folks came out, like, I didn't even know that many people worked in a fast food restaurant. And there was only 4 of them. Whenever I walk into a fast food restaurant, there's one nigga at the cashier, that same nigga's doing the milkshakes, that same nigga is chopping up lettuce, and they also... sweep the floor when nobody's around. So for 4 of y'all to come out the back and just be like, what's up? I was like, that's incredible. Meanwhile, with this white dude in the McDonald's, everybody standing in the back like, I wonder when my break is. And it's like, nigga, you better jump in and do something. Mm-hmm. So that had me heated. Shanta, you got any thoughts on it?
I had no idea about the KFC video.
Oh, the KFC video was golden.
Yeah, I had no idea about the KFC video and was glad that the fact that she didn't... I was glad that the firing news was not true. Because it seemed really fucked up if she did get fired, if she had got fired. It seems like... and it also seemed kind of typical if she had got fired. It seems like even when motherfuckers are dealing with something where somebody else is in the wrong, sometimes they get caught up too. So when I found out, like, oh man, she got fired, I was just like, man, this is fucked up. This is bullshit. But it also seemed like, well, this is what white motherfuckers do. But the fact that she didn't get fired, great news.
Mm-hmm. Cook, Gooch.
Agreed. I saw the video and I immediately was very pleased with the young lady and how efficiently she used her leverage to reverse the pulling that the man did on her to then pull him back over the counter to give him a good pounding in the face. She beat him in his face for a hot second. Just did good out, and I was very proud of her. However, it was way too many men in that restaurant for her to just be putting in all that work by herself.
Mm-hmm.
That is a major problem for me. I feel like there are some men and some black men who are just very comfortable letting black women just work out. And it's like, nah, you got to come in and catch this work too, bruh. Like, is this a group effort? You got to jump in. So I'm just, I don't know, I'm side-eyeing some of these niggas, but for the most part, I agree with Sean. I am extremely happy that she was not fired. I deserve that. Like I said, she's going to be promoted to Sergeant at Arms, and she will be promoted over, making sure all ice creams work in the district that she's in. Because
you're going too far. You're going way too far now.
You're asking too much of me.
Look,
hey, I just kept hearing the cha-cha slide music in my head as she reversed it and started beating the shit out of him. And all I heard was, reverse, freeze! Let me see you catch these hands. And I was like, this is perfect because, first of all, fuck McDonald's customers. How y'all niggas come to McDonald's and think you deserve something? Like, y'all should really be coming to McDonald's apologizing. Like, I'm sorry for bothering y'all. I ain't got no. You should go into McDonald's like that nigga from Lean on Me. I ain't got nowhere else to go. Like, you got a million options, nigga, and you walking into McDonald's, something going on. So, like, you don't get brawls at McDonald's. Like, and white folks keep on testing it on McDonald's. So, fuck that dude. I hope he goes to jail, and then when he gets to jail, good.
And he can't post fine. It's $1,000.
He can't afford it because that nigga's in McDonald's.
And I just want to say this all started because of a straw. A straw. This should have never gotten that far. Her manager should have stepped in as soon as it escalated into an argument.
Mm-hmm.
But white people are trash.
I'm saying, hamburger helper.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas just need to, I mean, there's a million different ways that this could have been solved. First of all, like you said, that white dude didn't have to try and get brolic, but white folks, that's a whole nother story. Management could have came out immediately and been like, yo, I got this. The fuck you screaming about? One of the black dudes could have came out the back and been like, nigga, what you want? I don't know what it is, but as soon as some white folks hear the word nigga, they just, oh my God. So could have just hit him with the nigga what? And they would have been like, I'm sorry, I'll drink out of the cup. Look, I'm doing it now. None of them want to do it. Like, I'm like, yo, y'all talk all this shit about, I wish a white boy would do this shit. I wish a white boy would get up in my face. I wish a white boy would disrespect my black sisters. Nigga, it happened right in front of you.
Yep.
And you really just sat there and let it happen. I don't care if I gotta, look, I realize that in a lot of situations, we speak on things that we haven't experienced. So we may not do what we say we're going to do. But I swear to God, if I'm in a situation and I see a black woman, a black child, a black girl getting assaulted, grabbed, anything like that, I'm stepping in between the two of them at the very least. I may not throw hands, and I'm going to step in between y'all. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it's what it do. Because if I step in between y'all and you keep yelling, now you're yelling at me. I may not want to always push things into the violent mode. I'm a talkative, talk it out type nigga sometimes. But if I step in between y'all and you keep trying to reach, you're reaching over me. I feel threatened for both of us. Now I'm involved. But what I was always taught is that my size and my voice should be enough to deter a lot of interactions from actually happening. And unfortunately, a lot of other guys were taught that if a woman puts their hands on me, I can beat them like a man. If you want to be equal to a man, I should be able to fight you like I would fight a man. Little did he know that she knew how to fight better than any man he would ever come up against. And so he got his monkey ass whooped 3 ways from Vanilla Sunday. So that's
he deserves.
That's one trash.
And I just want white people to leave black people. I want us to be able to get that written into the Constitution somehow. I want them to.
I thought it was going to happen when Obama was elected. I really did. I thought that was our chance.
Yeah, we really should have pushed hard for that one. Mm-hmm. Like, I really just want it where, like, they literally have to leave us alone. Like, they cannot bother us. Like, literally, I can say, no molestar, and all the white people will disappear. Like, I want that.
Mm-hmm. All you got to do is say the secret words, Mama say, Mama sa, Mama musa, and all the white folks will get out the personal bubble. They'll just back up.
Well, I told y'all, I've said this on our show, I've just been calling white folks aggressive lately, and they don't like that word, and I've never seen white people scatter so fast. I'm like, you know what, right now, what you're giving me is very aggressive, and I can't allow that to happen. And
that's
they automatically prefer. It is, because I'm using their language against them.
Yeah. You really are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, try it. It works.
I can't wait. I will see a bunch of white people tomorrow, and I'm going to tell the referee. Oh, God. Dang it. I never even thought about saying that. I'd say something like, I don't even know. Like, I found that when I talk to white people, they are quick to flip it right back on me to make it seem like I'm overly hostile when I'm like, yo, you're in my fucking personal bubble. So saying that they're aggressive, that's the kill shot right there. That'll slow them down enough for them to either get out of my way or for me to escape.
Yo, you gotta hit them. You gotta say that they're being aggressive, and then you gotta hit them with, you're making me really uncomfortable right now.
You have to, yes. That's the 1-2 combination.
Like, you're extremely aggressive, and I'm very uncomfortable. I'm not so comfortable right now. And you have to give them the shake, the panic, the oh my gosh, like, am I going, like, no, I did this with an interaction with a police lady. She pulled me over to give me a ticket at like 3 a.m. And because a girl, I turned it and paid it so bad, she didn't give me as big a ticket. But every time she came to my window to ask me for something, I would jump out my skin like, oh my God, like, please, it's going to be over with. I was like, oh my God, like, sis. And she was like, ma'am, just I was like, I cannot calm down.
You know what, though? You really do see white folks in the videos like that, and they take it to the whole nother level. Like, they learn the rules, and then they were like, I'm going to exploit it. No, I'm not going to calm the fuck down. You're being aggressive.
But they could do that. We cannot.
Right.
So we got to use their shit. We got to use their shit and just flip it around on them. It works.
We got to use their shit, but say it the way Michael Jackson would have asked if he could come down and sing to somebody. Like, you're being aggressive right now, and I was just wondering if I could talk to your manager real quick, because I don't really like the way that this is going right, and I just she's out of my life, like. So I gotta, like, I'm surrounded at my job by white people. There's really nowhere I can run to, and it's one of those things where if they even say somebody looks like they're hostile, they just turn and look at me real quick. So I just keep my headphones on and keep my head down, but I don't keep music on because I figured that they're talking about me when I got my headphones on, but I can never prove it before. So I left my headphones off, and they were like, look at him in his own world. Look at him just enjoying that.
Look at him minding his own business, doing the work that we paid him to do. How dare he?
Look at him just enjoying that music. I bet he's listening to Young Jocker. It's going down. And they started just...
Wow.
I was like, are you serious? Like, of all the choices you had in the whole world, you chose Young Jock. Like, what? Have you been watching Real Housewives of Atlanta or Love and Hip Hop or the fuck?
Probably.
So, yeah.
Weird.
White people.
So weird.
They're
weird. That's weird. They're weird.
Yeah.
They weird. They weird. They're mad weird, son. They're weird. It's weird.
And they're becoming so bad that they can't stand themselves now. Like, that's how bad it is.
Yeah, I heard that one of the most offensive words to white people is white.
Yeah, they don't want to be called white or Caucasian. If I read that correctly.
Yeah, they want to be like the clear people now.
It's like, no, you have to own this. You own this. This is all you.
Yeah,
you got to own it. Stop. You had a good run. Like, you had, like,
But here's my thing. We didn't come up with this structure. You did. Like, y'all came up with the typing system. So let's just stick with it. It works.
Mm-hmm. It's working exactly the way it was supposed to. And now all that classes are learning. It's trash.
So, there's this trigger warning, first of all, just real quick. This next story is sexual assault. A lot of the stories we're going to be talking about this evening deal with some semblance or form of assault. I just want to warn y'all right now. But I'm going to tiptoe around a lot of it. But I just want to let y'all know, listeners, that there is discussion coming up that is of a sexual assault conversation. So there is a patient in a nursing facility in Arizona who's been in a coma.
I read about this
for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
A decade.
A decade. And she's been in a vegetative state for over a decade following a near drowning incident. And she's been in a nursing facility, like I said. She gave birth on December 29th.
Ain't that some shit? Mm-hmm.
Now,
everybody got these hands at the nursing facility.
Exactly.
Everything.
Just line all the men up and just slap them like the Three Stooges style, just right down the line. Just now, of course, all the workers are saying they don't know what happened.
Of course.
Everybody's getting DNA tested.
Mm-hmm. And it's that simple, that quick.
And everybody who worked there within the last year.
Yep, that's really what it is. Because there could always be a chance that the person that impregnated this woman or was part of her being impregnated isn't there anymore.
Mm-hmm. They said that they didn't know that she was pregnant until she went into labor and began moaning.
Wow.
The baby was born healthy. The HR, I guess, the source from the Hacienda Healthcare Facility was asked quite simply. She had no way to defend herself from this sort of situation. And the source came back and said no, not even to communicate that she was pregnant. And then the healthcare center declined to comment on the case, citing federal and state privacy laws and ongoing investigations. They said, we can say that our patients' and clients' health and safety is our number one priority. Bullshit! And that we always cooperate when asked by any agency in an open and transparent way. According to the news, the facility has allegedly upped its security protocols following the delivery. Now, quote, if a male staff member needs to enter a female's room, which really, if they need to enter a lady's room, they need to bring a woman, a female employee in with them.
But that should always be the case.
I'm saying, why is that a new rule? Everywhere you go, it's like if there's guys cannot go into a place alone. Like that's always been, hasn't that? Everywhere else?
No, the places I've been to.
I don't think anybody ever really thought that some shit like this would go down. I mean, because there's male nurses, I'm sure, on all kinds of different floors, in all kinds of different medical facilities and stuff. And it's just, you never think that some shit like this would happen, where vulnerable people in this type of a situation would need to be protected in this kind of a way. But
the thing
I
is,
feel like we see so much abuse in nursing homes, just with older people, and I would think like you would already have some type of protocol with people who can't defend themselves because it's common.
now, yes, I think that makes sense. I guess the idea of a man has to go in with a woman almost feels like I don't think people would think that that's something that they need to do. I think that they would put more cameras in. They would put just everybody is supposed to be responsible for everybody else kind of protocols than just like something specific to men to prevent sexual assault.
All right.
So I'm trying to think. She was in a vegetative state, meaning they had to come in and had to physically care for her on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
They had to change her IVs and medicines and feeding tubes and wipe her down and bathe her and things like that. So the opportunity, the access is there. So yeah, in that regard, I think yes, it absolutely makes sense. Where if you're rotating out male staff to do that job, there should be a female staff member present. Now who's to say that person, if they really wanted to do this, they wouldn't find some other nefarious way to do that. But when I'm also thinking back when I've ever been in a hospital, I can't recall ever having a male nurse wait on me.
My grandma was just in the hospital, recently over the holidays, whatever, and she had a male nurse, and she had an incident or accident on herself or whatever, and he had to call a female nurse in to assist her, and he had to step out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So he could not help my grandma, get herself together at all. He could only change her IV, make sure she ate, check her whatever they call that stuff. But as far as cleaning her up, he could not do it.
And I guess it's a me thing, because after seeing Kill Bill,
right?
Yeah,
I would have never let any dudes in. I mean, like, I'm sorry,
and that's kind of and that's exact pussy wagon. Exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Because while I'm looking at that movie and that part was instant villain creation, like, okay, when she came to and beat the fuck out of him, Will was like, yeah, fuck Buck.
Yeah.
There's other niggas who saw that and was like, huh. And that's the shitty part about this world, is that there's literally people who were like, who see this as an opportunity.
Like that doesn't sound a bad idea at all.
Like, I'll abuse my own job, my own privileges. Like, I'm just speculating here because they obviously weren't paying attention. I'm wondering if maybe this was somebody who was like paying other people for the opportunity or whatever it may have been. Like, that happened in that movie and they don't know what the fuck happened and nobody's telling on anybody. And I'm looking this up and there's like...
Yeah, it could be a ring amongst the staff.
And
I would be hard pressed to believe that it wasn't. Like, I'm sure there are a few people involved in it.
And there's multiple storylines about this. I didn't even know that there was a Law and Order episode where it turned out that a staff member was paid by the woman's mom because the mom wanted to be a grandmother so badly. Mm-hmm. Like, there's storylines about this kind of stuff. That's wild. Like, first of all, for somebody to think of this, that means they had to have experienced it or heard an urban legend about it or something like that. Because you just can't be fucked up enough in the head to just say, you know what, I'm going to write about my movie. I refuse to believe that somebody's like, you know what would be a good storyline would be this, just out the blue. But then on top of all that, like, y'all took the Hippocratic Oath to protect the health of your patients, and now you're like, you know what, snitches get stitches. And that's why I'm like, yo, that's, first of all, this fucked up. Second of all, trash. Just trash. I'm alright with being trash.
Just trashy.
Now, as I said, this whole thing is going to be mostly about the Predator. His name was AJ, and it's interesting that he looked like the predator because apparently this nigga's been accused of sexual assault by 3 women. Or no, he's been accused of a sexual assault by 10 women.
Yep. And
in June 2018, Sil Lai Abrams accused him of sexual assault. The domestic violence activist revealed the details exclusively to the Hollywood Reporter. 6 months later, 2 more women came forward with their own recounts. And speaking with the news and pop culture sites, Abram revealed that at least 10 women, including herself, have accused Calloway of sexual misconduct. And they all wanted their names to be kept private because they said that he's petty and he's callous and he will try and end their careers.
He don't have a career himself.
He's the predator.
Well,
excuse me.
like besides 106 in Park, I think he's done some red carpet interviews.
Mm-hmm.
What else does he do?
He's like the original Terrence J. I would.
Mm-hmm. But at least Kieran's got movies now. What does this nigga do?
Oh, yeah. But he, I guess, in that hosting world, I mean, it just seems like any type of power or type of notoriety surrounding any male is an opportunity for him to try to exploit women or use that power to exploit women.
Yeah, he probably. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying because I remember when he in 106 and Park, I didn't like him because he was always trying to push up on Free, and she was always like, "I will punch you in your."
He used to hug her around her waist a lot, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
Always talking about.
He was really
how big that was. Yeah.
And it was like at that point in time, it was noticeable. But everybody was like, hi, they're co-workers, they're co-hosts, it's all fun and games. Nah.
Free is comfortable. And in retrospect, a couple times, she really was like, dead ass. I'm from Boston. I will beat your ass if you touch me. Like, a couple times she stopped the show, like, pause. Like, I'm not having it. And it just all now makes sense. He didn't get the message then. And wow, it's just like nothing surprises me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're at that point.
I was waiting for it to hit Black Hollywood. Like I was waiting. So I guess now it's starting.
But you know how hard it is to even get in Hollywood and how hard it is to be in Black Hollywood. So you know them niggas is probably just lunching.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. If I and Stephanie and I were talking about this on the kitchen sink episode that we did earlier today, but if I get into Hollywood, you know I'm doing everything in my power to shut the fuck up. I'm doing everything in my power to. I mean, I'm not. You wouldn't even know. The people I respect the most in Hollywood at this point in time are them niggas that you see in movies and you like, ain't that? Know that nigga.
I know his face, but I don't know his name.
Right? I know his face. I see him everywhere. What's that nigga's name? I want to be that nigga.
PH Pounder. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The one who, when he died, you find out he was like in 98 movies and died with $500 million. I want to be that nigga. But no.
He was minding his business. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Although he performed in many, many different movies and plays, his best role was knowing his lane.
Just like that.
One of his best friends was quoted as saying, I really like Rashanii. He minded his own fucking business. End quote. When asked for more information, they said, I ain't really good. I mean, while we're talking about Hollywood niggas, while we're talking about Hollywood niggas, this ain't even a story. I just want to say real quick, fuck Eddie Murphy. I just want to get that out there. Just push that out there real fast.
He been in shit.
I just want to say fuck that nigga and his bowling league worth of kids, but he won't acknowledge his other child. Like
The one with Mel B?
Exactly. Fuck Eddie talking about I got 10 kids. Nigga, no, you got 11. Nigga, no. Talking about Eddie Murphy Texas with his 10 kids. Nigga, no, you got 11. Fuck you, nigga.
Oh, man.
I want justice for Mel B because nobody does her right. No one. You got whack-ass Eddie Murphy, then that white nigga that was beating on her. Like, no one does Mel B right, and she deserves.
Well, she been getting fucked over since she was with the Spice Girls.
I wouldn't doubt it. And you know, one black girl in the group of white folks.
Like, wait. How your name Baby, your name Posh, your name is this, your name is Sporty, and my name is Scary? Nigga, what you trying to say about me?
Get back. You know black women are scary.
Bitch, put your hands up. Put your motherfucking hands up. I'll fight you for your name. Oh shit. I'm saying though, I don't think she had, and I gotta be honest, Spice Girls, when they came out with Spice World and all that kind of stuff, I wasn't there for that. I wasn't there for a lot of the stuff Spice. It was the 90s. I was in the gangster hip hop and all that kind of good shit. But anyways, I don't remember, but she sang lead on songs, right? She wasn't just always background, right?
Right.
Yeah, they.
I don't know, because I just thought they all sang as a group.
They all sang at
the
same
remember
time.
I don't remember anyone having like vocals.
I feel like they tried on maybe some of the slower songs.
Okay.
Maybe, but it's I wasn't really like popping off for wasn't really going up for the Spice Girls back then either. It was just like, yeah, you know what I really, really want. It was cute,
right?
And then it was just kind of like, oh, Spice Girls video, that's cool. Oh, to giving you everything, that was cute too. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
I just want I'm just here for the platform sneakers.
I was out of high school when they came out so that wasn't me. That wasn't for me.
All right, so quick quote. I'm going to have some quotes popping up in this show every now and again because my folks, you know, they stay prolific with the thoughts and with the tweets and whatnot. I'm going to give credit where credit's due always because I'm cautious about lawsuits. If I Were Magneto on Twitter said, I will never forget when Erykah Badu really said teenage girls have to take more responsibility and not wear clothing a certain way so grown-ass men won't prey on them.
Yeah. I remember.
Blaming young girls and calling them fast, but not grown men for going after children. I just want to point out the fact that when niggas were like, yo, Erykah, why you fucking with R. Kelly still? Erykah was, that's when she said this about the teenage girls having responsibility.
She's a problematic auntie.
So,
I can't.
Question.
Yes.
Did you guys hear about all the artists who refused to to work with the R. Kelly and like some of those names?
Jay-Z. I thought Jay would be more than happy to do it after the fight they had at the Best of Both Worlds concert.
No, he don't want that smoke because he don't want nobody to remember he was fucking with Foxy.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Or the fact that nigga was really grooming Beyonce.
Oh. No.
I want to think so much differently about them, but yeah, I don't know.
That nigga was 44 when they met.
It's like, it's shaky. You know, like it's not shaky now because it's like they're adults and they got kids and it's like it's moved on and everything. But it's like, I think if something like that, I think if somebody else who is the same age as he was and the same age as she was, I think would react. I think we.
What were their ages again?
She was like 18, 19. He was like damn near
30.
Like 34.
Oh.
He was old as fuck.
Like it's a big gap. Like it's not a big gap now when you think about it, like when you look at them together, like if they had met each other now, you know, and started a relationship, it's not a big gap. But when you think about where she possibly could have been as far as who she is as as her young adulthood and who he was as a as an adult, it's shaky.
And you know, it's
y'all just ruined that for me.
This is gonna make it even worse for you. I like to sometimes when I'm alone in my house and I finish losing in a video game or whatever it may be. Sometimes I think about the fact that niggas who are 44 dating a 28-year-old, when they were 18, she was 2. I think about that.
And it's hard. It's for me watching this whole conversation unfold. I do remember a lot of girls dating older men in high school, but I always looked at them men like it's something wrong with them. Like I always looked at it as, why do you want to be with me? I have a curfew. I'm in school. I can't stay out at night. I don't know, like, why do you want to be with me? And it was always explained like they are only with you for one thing. Like, you're not that special. And I know a lot of high school girls did rationalize it. Who's more experienced, if I am sex, I should get some type of financial gain from it. And also, too, he doesn't go to my school. He doesn't know the people that I know, or he's not going to be as inclined to talk about it in the community. So I don't have to worry about anyone besmirching my reputation, as if, like if you did mess with a dude in your high school, like, oh yeah, I fucked her. I finger popped her last week and everybody knows. So I'm like, there's so many factors as to how we get here and make these decisions. But overall, the bottom line is that, nah, dude, you need to really not. You need to really not. And I don't believe that any man really enters into a relationship with someone 10 years their junior thinking I found my soulmate. Exactly. I don't believe it.
Exactly. I'm gonna put this out there real quick. I feel like niggas who find their quote unquote soulmate who's like 10 years younger than them or more, that's usually on their second relationship after their midlife crisis. And I mean, it's you're and everybody says you're grown, you like it, I love it kind of shit, and that's fine and dandy, but nah. Because then you hear these niggas talking about, and when I say niggas, let's just be clear, white folks, I'm talking about you too, you just can't say it.
They do that shit all the time.
Man, I almost swung on this white dude a couple days ago because I thought he said nigga. It was his friend standing next to him. But I was like, that black dude has a really high-pitched voice. Turned out we were just in the suburbs. But he was like, nigga. And I was like, what? And then it turned out it was a black friend. I was like, y'all safe. But stop calling them. And it was a whole thing. But,
cut that out.
But, damn, what y'all was talking about? Oh, yeah. But I see a lot of niggas talking about, ooh, when so-and-so turns, then they will be this. When blank turns blank, then they will be blank. When blank turns blank, then they will be this. And niggas who are like, oh, she's 18? Oh, that's all gravity. That's not cool to me. That's just...
It's before then. You could be 18 months old, and the man's going to be like, oh, she's going to be nice when she get older.
Yep.
Like, it don't, like, there's a couple dudes, I just say something to them because they were looking at, like when my daughter was younger. They're like, oh, she's going to be beautiful when she gets older. And I'm like, well, why do you worry about what she's going to look like when she gets older?
Right. Why are you sexualizing her?
Nigga, why you going to live that long?
Listen. You know what I'm saying? That's a good one right there. But yeah, it starts from the cradle to the grave when you're a girl.
Yeah, I was talking to we were walking through Sam's Club because samples, and saw one of the folks we went to church with, and it was her husband, and their daughter. And their daughter is like, I think she's 7 now, maybe 8. And we've known her since she was a baby. And I was like, yo, how y'all doing and everything? And we was talking and everything. And then the dad told their daughter, give him a hug. And I was like, nope. If you don't want to give me a hug, you are not obligated. You didn't step up to give me a hug. You did not look to me for a hug. I didn't look to you for a hug. You ain't got to hug nobody you don't want to hug. And I looked at him and I was like, stop telling your kids to give so-and-so a hug. If they want to hug somebody, they're going to hug somebody. And he was looking at me like I was growing horns. And I was like, you got an older daughter that you probably made hug everybody in the world. Just stop doing that shit.
Yeah, we have to give kids agency over their own bodies. Like, if kids already are sensitive to vibes, so it's like, if they feel sketchy about a person, don't make them hug them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't.
Absolutely. And you have to.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, well, just even if they're not feeling sketchy, like the Jehovah's Witnesses came to my house and everything, and they're nice, so I let them in my house, whatever. And the woman, she's come over, a lot in these past couple years and everything. So she knows my daughter, and she was like, she was like, can I have a hug? And my daughter was kind of hesitant. I was just, and I immediately said, like, baby, you don't have to hug anybody. You can say no. And that's whether it's they feel sketchy or not, just any hesitation, just they should know that they can say no to any type of affection.
And it's like folks get really insulted.
They do.
That's the thing that kills me. Like, how dare you deny me my hug? And I'm like, the fuck do you come from where you think somebody's obligated to put their arms around your stinking ass body?
But that is sort of, I think this is one of the things, and we're seeing this with the new generation. The older generation resents that the new generation is holding them accountable.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Don't like it. And this is one of the last bastions of, the old ways that are being knocked down, because growing up, I remember I had to hug and give a hug. Like, give a hug and kiss. I had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I'm like going around family members, they've been smoking and drinking all day. They don't got no teeth. They look, and I just be really, I'll just be looking like, I don't want to hug and kiss. Like, he stink. Like, but it was like really a thing where like you had to be an obedient child. And I think now this is very important, where we're giving our children the right to say, to decide or determine who they want to, I like you or I don't like you. That is very important.
Yeah.
At their early age, so that way when you get older, unfortunately for a lot of women, I'm learning this is something that they may never do. Like, it is okay to tell a dude, like, don't touch me, don't put your hand on me.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm teaching it in reverse, because my daughter is a hugger. She's very affectionate, and I'm not. I don't like being touched. And, I sometimes she wants to, and I'm like, no, I don't want to hug right now. So, I mean, it's teaching them both ways. And that will teach them that when you're older, you can't get offended because someone doesn't want to be touched.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to be honest, in some situations, it can be scary to take that step to say, you know what? Don't hug her. Don't hug him. If they want to hug you, they'll approach you. Don't approach them, because you're saying it to, again, the older generation who are accustomed to having their way and may try and get a little bit brolic when you take my grandbaby's hugs away from me or their love away from me. Nigga, you better learn a secret handshake.
Right.
I got a nephew, real talk. I got a nephew. His name is Junior. I call him Deuce because I know too many juniors in this world. But, little nigga, me and you got a secret handshake. And every time I see him, he pops up, runs to me. We do the secret handshake. We've been doing this since he was 3 years old. I ain't trying to hug. Look, If I don't, and this is what I told her too, and this blew her dad's mind. I was like, look, you see them 5 women over there? She was like, yeah. I was like, do you think they want to hug me? She was like, no. I was like, so does that make it right for me to just go over there and put my arms around them? She was like, no. I was like, then why don't we show you that same respect? Because you're a kid? She was like,
Blew her mind.
blew her mind. And her dad was looking at me again like, why are you telling her this? And I was like, the reason why I'm saying this stuff is because parents don't say this stuff to their kids. Y'all don't empower your kids. You just want them to have a little bit of leeway. And that's the problem nowadays. We want our kids to speak up for themselves as long as they're not speaking up against something that we believe in.
Yep.
Right.
And we got to let that go if we want them to thrive going forward.
Yeah, you have to be able to think for yourself.
Mm-hmm. I told niggas quickly, yo, if she don't want you to touch her, don't. Matter of fact, I told my daughter Go-Go, who, by the way, is nicknamed after Go-Go from Kill Bill. I told my daughter, if somebody comes up on you, knock him the fuck out. Punch him. Hit him. Don't get mad at me. That's all right. Look, you don't want them to touch you, they can't touch you. That's it. Period. Point blank. And that's where we're at. Let me think. Oh yeah, list of niggas who is fuckers. Mary J. Blige, Lil' Kim, Erykah Badu, Dave Chappelle, Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
and Jay-Z.
And I'm pissed because that Lady Gaga song was a fucking bop. It was a whole ass fucking.
Right?
And I really was like, bitch. But I was like, it's fucking R. Kelly. And they said something to her about it. And the song kind of got shelved a little bit. But not before she performed with him on Saturday Night Live.
I was sitting, and I'm like, what is it that he has on, just not even the regular people, like, just not us, like, people that are in Hollywood, like, what is it that you all have to lose by speaking against R. Kelly? Like, for Kendrick to threaten to remove his music from Spotify if they remove R. Kelly, why?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
For what? Like, Kendrick, we've been rocking with you for so long. You're supposed to be the conscious rapper. What is happening? Why are y'all not speaking against this man? Like, it's all the evidence is there. It's laid out. These women are not lying.
New.
It's not new. He's been doing this. He put it in the song.
Called himself the Pied Piper of R&B.
Yes. That's what's really fucked
That's
up.
so
like,
telling.
Like,
if you know the fairy tale.
Oh my God. Like, it's the worst kind of thing. Like, obviously when I was a kid, I didn't catch it. But then you find out what the story is, and it's just like, holy shit. Like, how on the nose do you have to be?
Right.
Your parents caught it.
I knew. You know, and the funny part, I was the same age as Aaliyah. I think Aaliyah's gonna, if Aaliyah was still alive, she'd be 40 this month, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember watching Video Soul with Donnie Simpson, and her and R. Kelly are on there. And if you can find the footage, is when Age Ain't Nothing But Number just dropped. I remember I was on the track team, so the big thing was like everybody had like hot tapes and CDs because in between heats and stuff, you had downtime. So we always listen to music and we're talking. And Aaliyah, when Aaliyah came out, that was like the big thing for kids my age. Like, that's what we were talking about. You heard the new Aaliyah? That shit is hot. But that was the topic of conversation. The title of the album was Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. And it was the topic of conversation on the radio in the morning. It was the topic of conversation when R. Kelly and Aaliyah were on the Donnie Simpson show. And they're sitting there. You can tell by their body language. They're giggling together. They're way too comfortable together. It's a lot of innuendo and implication there. And Donnie is straight up asking him, like, are you two together? And R. Kelly's like, well, we're not together or anything like that, but, she's a really cool person. You know what I'm saying? She's great to hang around. And he's like, age ain't nothing but a number. It's really not about, our ages or anything. It's just, our vibe, because just the whole vibe.
She's got that vibe.
So, right.
Little cute Aaliyah's got it.
Yep, little cute Aaliyah's got it.
You sure did fucking say that.
And I remember the story breaking that when they said, they were like, Aaliyah eloped with R. Kelly and got married. She's 15 years old and he is 27 years old. Or she was 14 years old. He was 14. Regardless, I remember hearing that story as a 14-year-old girl saying, that bitch crazy. My daddy would kill me. Or I couldn't do no shit. But at the same time, also understanding, like, oh yeah, he totally talked her into that shit. She got wrapped up with some older man. And he talked her into that shit. Like, as a 14-year-old myself, I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was inappropriate. And I remember, everybody was like, oh, 12 play. I remember, I never really was a big R. Kelly. I've always given him the side eye about that. It was never really a question for me. Like, nah, that's what he was. Because at the same time, being 14, being approached by, like, being on the track team, and maybe somebody's older brother being at the track meet, he's 22, 23, trying to holler at me. And I got to say, no, I'm 14. And then saying, like, oh, I mean, well, age ain't nothing but a number.
Exactly.
No, like, bruh, like, that was a thing. It's always been a thing. And it's like, oh, God. Okay.
It just...
I lost my train of thought. I don't know. It's just a lot.
I just a million different things. A million different things about R. Kelly. One of the things that sticks out to me the most is the fact that 95% of his songs sounded like they were made for little kids to understand sex. 12 play sounded like the rules and regulations to being intimate. Mm-hmm. You remind me of my Jeep. I remember thinking to myself, this is the dumbest fucking song I've ever heard in my entire life.
But Jesus Christ.
But it's something that, how to explain how a kid makes you feel. You got to put it like, I love you like the whole world. Stupid metaphors that don't really connect, but will connect in the kid's head. What was the other thing that got me? The little cute Aaliyah. The seems like you're ready.
Ugh.
Yeah.
My mind is telling me no, but my body says yes. Just all of these things that people kept hearing. And like I said, like we said, in like 2002, 2003, 2004, maybe even 1997? After, first of all, with Aaliyah, she's got that vibe came out in like 94. 95.
93.
93? I was 13.
Yeah.
I was 13, and I remember singing along with that because my cousin's name was in it. So we would skip past her name, and it was right before Little Cute Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
And look.
Yeah, my 11-year-old cousin had the 12 play tape.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, why do you have this tape? And she was like, I bought it with my allowance. And I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in, wait. Right, it might have been 94. I had been like in 10th grade. I was like 14, going on 15. Yeah. So that was like 94. Like 93, 94, like, yeah, that era. Yeah.
That was a nigga. It's always a nigga. For what it's worth, I have not yet had any white folks come up to me and try and convince me that I'm wrong for the shit that I say about R. Kelly, which years, ladies and gentlemen. We go back and check the archives. Single Simulcast has been vehemently against that nigga for many, many moons. A nigga today told me that he believed that R. Kelly was innocent because R. Kelly was from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was that's what I said. Oh, yeah.
And then I would have just walked away.
Well, as I was thinking about walking away, he continued by saying, and I quote, "Were you in the bedroom with them?"
Oh,
Were you?
right.
Well, I would say were you, but there was a lot of niggas who literally went out and bought child pornography to try and prove that R. Kelly was innocent. So
It's true.
True. That was child porn. And everybody was watching it. And I am proud to say that I have not ever.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
have
watch
never
it.
seen it.
And it's funny because I remember reading Vibe. Vibe at one point was my Bible. Like, it came every month. I loved Vibe magazine. And I remember Vibe printing the story where they were like, we did an interview with R. Kelly. And they were like, we looked at the tape and we looked at where we photographed him in his home, and we see that background in the tape. It does match the background from our photo shoot from this, issue, da 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 da. So they were like, we're not coming out and saying it, but they were like, we really believe that this is R. Kelly on this tape. And I remember reading that, and we're like, once I saw it in the Vibe, and they showed the stills from the video, I knew that was him. Like, I knew I didn't need to see it. Excuse me. I didn't need to see it. I was like, that's him. And the fact that, this is a publication coming out and saying, and it was like young, like, it's really no excuse at this point anymore.
But then the excuse became she was fast.
Oh, that was the thing. Like, a lot of niggas was like, oh, I seen the tape, men and women.
Mm-hmm.
When I say niggas, I mean that is gender situation. These niggas and these bitches. They were all like, oh no, you saw how she was moving on that tape. I mean, I saw how she was moving on that tape. So she knew, or no, she wasn't new to that. That wasn't her first time. I'm saying, I see, nah.
And I mean, let's really just bring it all the way around, because niggas tried it. Niggas have tried everything today. They've mentioned, well, y'all ain't talking about the wall no more. Y'all ain't worried about the shutdown. Y'all ain't bringing up Christopher or Charlie Sheen. Y'all ain't mentioning none of these white folks. You ain't saying nothing about Woody Allen. So
how many times we talk about Charlie Sheen, we talk about Woody Allen all the fucking time. We have not stopped talking about the wall. Also, we can talk about more than one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm. Hey, y'all, I really like pizza. So,
right, about this nigga who fuck with little kids.
Right? Back to this nigga while we wait for the pizza to get delivered. This nigga's fucking with little kids. And you've seen that actually happen where niggas is like, yo, I just ordered a pizza and get right back into the conversation like it's nothing. So stop saying that we can't concentrate on two things. Because, look, I am well aware that R. Kelly was molested when he was 8. He was molested from the age of 8 through 14. I'm well aware. He tried to put that into his autobiography. He put it into his book. He spoke on it. I'm aware of that. And I'm aware that he grew up in an abusive household and all that good stuff. He still made the conscious decision to do this.
Absolutely.
You can have
being
a fucked up life.
Is not an excuse for you to go out there and molest other children and rape girls. So no, get counseling. You have enough money.
Exactly.
I mean, they knew he was hanging out at the local middle school.
Right.
He
did nothing to stop it.
Y'all just let that. Wow.
And
that's what's fucked up.
And
that's also fucked up.
I read a article today or yesterday. It was probably yesterday because today I was busy at work. Psych. I was talking with Cook. But they were talking about how there were a bunch of people on the tour bus talking and laughing and all that kind of stuff, and the bedroom areas were separated by curtains. And so while they were all in the front talking and giggling and all that kind of stuff, laughing, the whole crew, like the backup singers, the dancers and all that kind of stuff, the curtains opened and they could see R. Kelly and Aaliyah being intimate. And I'm really sitting here like, and not in a, I tried to think about the best way to say this, but the only thing that came to my mind was rage. But why did y'all hold this shit in for a good this long. Like, I realize assault victims don't come forward because they don't want to be judged. They don't want to. They people will judge them, won't believe them, things of that nature. You're an adult watching a teenager get molested by an adult. I don't know how scared you are for your job, but you need to pull the fucking bus over so I can make a call real quick.
And then for you to continue, not only did you not speak up for the children that he was molesting and raping, you continued to work for him.
Mm-hmm.
Were there no one else that you could think for?
And so for all those folks who are also saying, what about your Uncle Lester, who you let come around the family, but you know that you won't let him babysit your kids? Uncle Lester doesn't come around my family. R. Kelly doesn't come into my house, but y'all literally are sitting here listening to his music, talking about I can separate the two things.
His sales actually, or his music went up today on Spotify, I guess it was,
right,
where he got a lot of plays today.
18%.
Yeah.
18%. Niggas saw his documentary, saw Surviving R. Kelly, and the first thing they thought was, I need to go listen to his music. And the article, the website that I read the article on, from theblast.com, fuck y'all too. You could tag me on that. Fuck the Blast. I got my middle finger up right now like they can see that shit. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all niggas. Because they did this article talking about how the listens have gone up 18%, and they discussed how Spotify is backtracking when they said that they were taking R. Kelly stuff down due to hateful content or conduct, and then they put it back up. They discussed all of that, but then at the end they were like, yeah, by the way, here's a video of the remix to Ignition.
Wow.
Like, y'all are helping perpetuate this. Everybody who does something even this small, like I'm going to post a link to his video at the end of this article, you're continuing to tell people it's okay to listen to him. You're saying separate yourself from this. It's all right to be in love with his music, and it's not. It's not.
It's not, especially when his music is evidence of the acts that he performs.
Yeah, it is.
You literally can't separate. You can separate Bill Cosby from Heathcliff Huxtable. You cannot separate R. Kelly from his music.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
And the niggas put out music laughing at us about shit like this. Like, seriously, the nigga put out a album where he was rapping about the haters or whatever. Like, he's discussed this. It's not.
Wasn't it like a 1 hour, like an hour-long song or something?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. He's done a lot of things, and
everybody's but them girls were fast, and they just wanted the money and the attention. They knew what they were getting into. That's the thing that makes me mad is they knew what they were getting into.
See, okay.
You know what they're getting into now?
Yeah, okay, I just had an epiphany, you guys. You know how when they talk about, like, how Kanye's all like, oh, you Negroes, you all think the same, and I'm a free thinker, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
If niggas would just use that same energy that they use to rationalize supporting white supremacy, actually support this type of thinking and behavior, they'd be dangerous. It's like, I feel like there's a line there. It's all there. Like, this whole, like, this is the one time where black people, like, as a monolith, I wish we were not a monolith. Mm-hmm. Supporting rape and R. Kelly. Like, this is the one stronghold right here where I think, like, it's okay for us to be free thinkers on this one. Like, it's really okay to depart from the norm.
We have to start protecting black women. All these girls, they should have been protected. We failed them. But instead, but in general, people turn and they're protecting R. Kelly. And for what?
Because celebrity lends comfort. Nobody like I said, Stephanie and I were talking about Christian Keys, talking about the about gay men being in his DMs. And talking about respect his truth and all that shit. And one thing that we discussed was the fact that because he's a celebrity, he feels like it is his right to be able to do this because people are going to support him no matter what because of his celebrity status. We have to take away the idea that money equals celebrity.
Right.
Or that being a celebrity equals being able to abstain from justice. Because there's a lot of fuck shit that's happening that celebrities are doing. And if you just wait long enough, somebody's going to offer them an olive branch. Somebody's going to try and draw them back into the conversation. Somebody's going to find a role for them, or a co-host, or a solo joint, or a duet, or something like that to bring them back into the circle. Which is why Ellen DeGeneres went out and said that she wanted Kevin Hart to host the Oscars, and
I was pissed because I'm like, first of all, bitch, you don't speak for all the gays. We didn't have a meeting about that. No one together and said we're okay with that. It's still fuck Kevin Hart.
She went on there and was like, y'all some haters.
See, this was white women. See, I can't. Because we didn't talk about this. She did that on her own. No. It's still fuck Kevin Hart. And Christian Keys, he's barely relevant. And I saw that post, and it was a breeding ground for homophobia. You did not have to make a post for that. All you had to do was either block the people and move on, or just tell them, hey, yo, I'm not with the shit, and keep them moving. It's that simple. Women do this shit every day. How many unsolicited dick pics do women get every single day? What do? We block it and we move on.
Mm-hmm. And the nigga said, in a couple of years ago, I guess, he was talking about how he slid in somebody's DMs and it didn't work out. And he wished he had shot his shot earlier. So, like, niggas is just, niggas is myopic. That's really what it is. We only see for ourselves. We only see what we want for ourselves, and everything else gets pushed to the side. And unfortunately, a lot of times, the folks who are getting pushed to the side are black women and black girls.
Right.
Because niggas. By the way, just want to remind you, Kiana Williams said, y'all canceled Chrisette Michele for singing at the inauguration, destroyed her life, which didn't.
Fuck her.
We didn't really destroy her life, though. Like,
she's okay.
She destroyed her life.
She gonna be okay. She gonna be okay.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
I mean, she got money. It ain't like somebody came to her house and said, you know what, nigga, your credit cards is canceled. You can't do this no more. If niggas is listening to R. Kelly, they listening to Chrisette Michele on Spotify. I know I do. I got like 2 or 3 songs. 10-foot stilettos. That shit go. I'm sorry. But they talking about like
warm at night. No.
But
still fuck her.
As a collective, niggas cancel Chrisette, but R. Kelly's still walking the earth. That's what somebody posted up.
I guess. What are you saying? What are they saying?
It's just it's an empty equivalent that we're putting out there. Like, why are y'all mad at this, but you're not mad at this? It's the same thing that they were saying about Charlie Sheen. This is the same shit that's being thrown out there. But I just wanted to say that I still love some of Chrisette Michele's music.
Oh my god. It's just I think this goes, but the thing that you're saying about Chrisette Michele, what we're saying is that basically she's going to be all right. She still has me. That's the way people need to be about a lot of these dudes who get called out for the fuck shit that they do, whether it's R. Kelly, whether it's Bill Cosby, whether whoever the fuck it is. Well, obviously not Bill Cosby because he's in jail, but at least before.
That nigga got hit in the face with a hot dog.
Before, when it was just like, look, he's getting these allegations thrown at him. He is not going to die behind this. You don't have to be so emotionally invested in this because these rich people are being accused of these things that they more than likely have done. This is not your hill to die on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let that shit go.
But niggas be like, you know what? When it's
absolve you from committing crimes, like having money doesn't make you a better person.
But niggas act like they're like, hey, I remember vividly when I was 15? Was that when OJ murdered his wife? Anyhow, my dad watched that trial every single day without fail. Like, I don't know how that nigga did it because he worked in the military, so he never really had time off. But he always got home just in time to watch Judge Lance Ito talk to OJ Simpson. And he watched that trial like OJ was going to go door to door after he got out and said, is Mr. Jones here? I just want to thank him for all the support through my hard trial. Like, he was one of the only ones who really rode for me. That shit ain't happening. Don't nobody care about you.
No.
And you caping for these motherfuckers ain't doing nothing but making you go through stress and trouble. Haven't you noticed that yet? Them sending out a thanks for all the love and ignore the haters post ain't really for you. It's like what Montel said, this is for you and most definitely you. It's not really for you. Like, real talk. Like, it's disturbing to me to see niggas continue to stumble over their own feet to protect these niggas because you know that niggas are going through the same shit but don't want to speak it out loud. Niggas is going through their own issues about wondering about, well, when she said she was drunk, was that? It probably was, but I don't really want to think about it. Well, when she was trying to drive home and I told her, baby, it's cold outside, was that? Well, I don't want to think about that. Y'all are making me think about this shit every time you mention R. Kelly, so I'm going to change the subject real quick. There's a lot
maybe
of
that's
folks.
what. Hey, maybe you got something there. Because I'm sitting here like, why are all these non-famous people caping for R. Kelly? What is it? So I think you're onto something.
It's because if they start actually prosecuting black men, famous black men for sexual assault, these non-famous niggas are scared they're gonna come after them next.
Yeah.
When they found out that the she's a hoe defense doesn't carry nearly as far as they thought it would. All the niggas done ran through her, doesn't carry as far as they thought it would. And now you're sitting there like, man, I really did some fucked up shit. I don't want to think about that though, but y'all talking about R. Kelly making me think about this and you're bringing me down.
Mm-hmm.
There was a nigga who did a podcast talking about how he sexually assaulted somebody. And he was proud of himself for admitting it. Like, nigga, you really doing a podcast talking about this shit. And he was like, why don't people approve of my podcast? Why don't people like my podcast? Why am I getting my podcast deleted from this site? And I was like, because you're literally telling folks you sexually assaulted somebody and you want to be patted on the back for it.
What?
Yeah. That happened. It live and direct. They tried to post it up on the Black Podcasters United page, live and direct.
See, that is the epitome of rape culture right there. And people are like, there's no rape culture. That is it. Him trying to make it a podcast, that is rape culture.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not doing it to anything other than get listens.
Right.
So that's still selfish as fuck. I just want to, real quick, shouts out to John Legend who said, quote, to everybody telling me how courageous I am for appearing in the documentary, it didn't feel risky at all. I believe these women and don't give a fuck about protecting a serial child rapist. It was an easy decision. I don't understand why everybody don't feel that way.
Chrissy told John, you're taking your ass up there, okay? You better not bring your ass home until you go up there and do that interview.
But in the same vein, Chrissy told him that, and Beyonce was like, you know what, maybe we should become vegan.
Man.
Portobello mushrooms sound good right now.
problematic in that regard. Excuse me. Beyonce's always been problematic like that.
Yeah.
Oh, the beehive. Bayhive? Beehive?
Never mind. I love to say it. No, okay.
Nah, real talk. I just the thing about Beyonce I remember more than her music is when Michelle slipped and fell while they were dancing, and Beyonce walked
going.
right over her.
So they rehearsed that routine for 14 hours a day for at least 6 months. She shouldn't have failed in the first place. The show must go on.
We were watching old videos of Beyonce, like of when Destiny's Child was. They went from 4 to 3, and they replaced the first 2, and when they sent Farrah home, and Beyonce told Farrah, "Your bags will be at the airport." Like you're dismissed. And they was like, "How can I get my stuff?" Beyonce can be a little bit.
She's very focused.
She is. She's serious about her craft. I'm here for it.
It was like, you're not here. She said, you really don't want to do this, so let me just go ahead and choose for you.
She did. Exactly. Sarah was pretending to be sick or some crap. She didn't want to stand up. She had to practice something.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they weren't here for it at all. She did that to herself. She just didn't have. She didn't have what it took. And it's okay.
It is.
You can't march in every parade. You cannot, right?
I had one more story about fucked up people. But, like I said, bottom line, dudes, if you're listening, hi, this is Rashanii. Capricorn, like long walks on the beach, talking shit about people like y'all. Every single time that y'all blamed women for their own, or blamed women for being attacked or assaulted, I just want to point out that somebody heard you and either A, judged you for it, or B, absorbed it and was like, that's the way it should be. I've always said that we are role models. You may not even know you're a role model till it's too late. But this is one of those situations where somebody who was looking up to you on the low heard you say some horrible shit and ingested it. Now, with that said, the last trash man that I want to talk about is Donald Trump, who shut down the government because America won't pay for the wall like Mexico wouldn't pay for the wall. And so now there's a bunch of national parks that are full of overflowing toilets and garbage. Niggas put Christmas lights on the Joshua tree out here.
They shut Joshua Tree down, I thought.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah.
Because the white folks don't know no boundaries. You know black folks don't go hiking. It was white people.
They said they were driving all over, like, I guess they're, like, protected areas of Joshua Tree, and people have been driving over it.
Mm-hmm. Doing, like, YouTube videos and all that kind of shit. So they had to shut that down, but there's other parks who are just, like, overflowing. People are starting to get sick from the smell. Like, people are shitting in the woods. Like, literally just dropping and going to the bathroom outdoors. It's all bad. And another thing that happened is that even though they ain't getting paid, TSA agents were told, y'all still got to come your ass to work. So they've been working since what, end of December, to make sure that don't nobody hop on a plane and try and blow it up. They ain't getting paid for that shit because of the government shutdown. And so hundreds of TSA agents have called out from work.
I don't blame them. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. If I'm not getting paid, I don't see shit.
And how are you not getting paid? How are you going to get to work?
Right.
You know, that's the fucked up part, the way transportation is in this country. You got to pay to go. You got to pay to go to work. You got to pay. Like,
I don't have money for my Metro card. I don't have gas money. I don't have lunch money.
Yeah.
I don't. How many ounces is that? That's 13. Okay, it can. Like, I don't care because I'm not getting paid.
I'm gonna hop my ass on a conveyor belt and try and get myself superpowers by going through the X-ray machine. I'm so sincere. Like, you can't tell me you ain't getting paid, but I'll see you tomorrow, bitch.
You'll see me when I get here. If I feel like it.
You'll see Bodum. Bodum what? Bodum nuts. Nowhere. I ain't coming to work. I don't get paid for this shit.
Right. They will be calling me like, you coming in? You got my check? If you ain't got my check, I ain't coming in.
You can talk hey, you said some real mean shit when you wasn't getting paid. Nigga, you said some real mean shit when you said I wasn't getting paid.
You telling me I'm not getting paid is some real mean shit.
Nick,
you damn near cussed me out.
What you mean I ain't getting... You know what? You're acting real aggressive right now.
Exactly.
You're acting real hostile.
And I'm so uncomfortable.
This is not conducive to a positive working environment.
And they said the mass call-outs can inevitably mean air travel is less secure. Duh. Especially after shutdown enters the second week with no clear end to the stalemate in sight. I just love the fact that niggas ain't even being secret about it. I'm calling in, I'm sick. And then I'll just turn my phone off or fuck it, it's 2019. I can make your calls go directly to voicemail for as long as I want. You be blocked like the Dikembe Mutombo.
I'm going to look at it. I'm not even going to block it. I'm going to just watch it ring.
Hey, this is so-and-so. If this is my boss... Call-outs have increased by 200 to 300% at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport alone. Union officials stress that the absences are not part of an organized action, but believe the number of people calling out will likely increase. What? Why would I? You know what? There's an airport right around the corner. I'm about to go and talk shit to TSA employees.
Don't do it.
Why the fuck are you here? Why the fuck? Why are you here? Why are you here? Blood, real talk.
They already don't get paid enough. Don't do it.
Nigga, go home. Nigga. My nigga's outside. He got some of that good green. Nigga, you ain't getting paid for this. Nigga, they can't even drug test you right now because you know what? That's federal too. Nigga, come outside. Nigga, get a Cinnabon. Come outside. Nigga, how long you working for? Psych, you ain't getting paid. Nigga, come out. Come on, man. It's Friday. You ain't getting paid and you ain't got shit to do. Come.
Shit to do.
Nigga, I was trying to sneak on an airplane.
Everybody from the no-fly getting on.
It's so awful. It's so awful. They should be getting... Oh, man, this government shutdown shit is just... terrible. But they did. The House did. Didn't they vote to open it back up? But now it's got to go to the Senate, and so we'll see what the fuck else the Senate's going to do.
But they're saying they don't think because it still doesn't include. Yeah, it still doesn't include funding for the wall.
Yep. Like this nigga in that wall, I swear, there was already a video of a Mexican activist climbing over the prototype wall that he had built up anyway.
The one with the stilts, with the spikes.
Nigga, look, here's what's gonna happen.
Did I read correctly, or did I hear correctly? He declared it a national emergency.
Yep.
He's trying to get it declared a national emergency. He's trying to say that I think he said that there were like 4,000 criminals that came across the border. They're disputing all these numbers and stuff, but he wants to use the Department of Defense funds, to pay for it. And they're looking into whether or not they can do it legally. I doubt it, because he's pretty much trying to figure out. He's presenting a lie to figure out how to get it done anyway. So it's like, bruh, there's checks and balances. This is not going to work. You can't declare a state of emergency because you feel like it.
Why is this the wall that he wants to die on? Why is this where he's focusing all of his energy?
He can hurry up. Right now, it'll be okay.
Yeah, he gotta go. He gotta leave.
ridiculous. Like, there's a lot. Like, there's a lot, and it's pissing me off.
Right at Black Christmas. Like, you really doing this during tax season. Like, you don't have time. People want their money.
Yeah. In front of my salad. Like, why?
Right in front of my salad.
Right in front of it. Ugh. And that's the hard part right there. Like, I think a lot of people who are hard pressed for these tax returns, I think some people are really there's going to be some sticker shock.
Yeah.
So I don't think I think this might be Bloody Christmas. This may not be Black Christmas. Yeah. I don't know. Like this, I don't see how, no.
Yeah, especially with all the changes now. Even if they do open up the government in time to release these funds, when you file your taxes, you don't even know what you're going to get.
Yep.
Yeah. Or if you, end up owing.
Right. I know I owe, child.
I don't know the impact of this new, whatever this is. Whatever the tax is. I don't know the impact. I don't know.
It's like we're watching the world burn in slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary and fascinating at the same damn time. Because I'm like, he can't go any lower than this. There's no way. And then he's like, hold my beer.
It really is as bad as we thought it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. And shout out to those people that thought it wasn't going to be that bad. Fuck you. Cause
hey, the emails. Sorry. Sorry, I forgot. It's been a while. I just want to point out again that there's already new politicians who are hopping in talking about how they're going to basically come in and continue to try and dismantle everything that Obama did. And I'm like, that's not the way.
Can y'all get off his nuts? Oh my gosh. Focus on fixing what the fuck y'all mans is doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is appalling. That is appalling.
That's how deep racism is.
Yes, that's really what it comes down to, is really just racism. The fact that he hasn't been in office in 3 years, going on 3 years, and they can still feel like they can run on his name, that it's gonna trigger somebody to say like, yeah, this is what I want. Yes, I want this person to be the person that represents me in the government, because they're gonna get rid of all the stuff that Obama did. Like, that's fucked up. But then the conservative people, Republicans and stuff, don't call me a racist. And I'm just like, yo, your man's is running on racism, right, but you're not pushing back on it. I don't know, what am I supposed to call you? What am I supposed to think you co-signing? What you feeling? That's your man.
There's no other word for it.
Fuck Joe Budden too.
Oh Lord, what'd he do?
Joe Budden posted up on Twitter talking about Lifetime so messy.
Who's messier than him? Who is messy? He's a messy stunt queen. I don't have time for Joe Budden. I really don't.
Him and his beard, denim Avenger. Go away.
Did you say his beard was made
denim
out of
Avenger?
No. But yo, like for real, like with Joe Budden, there was a little cat that was like in a denim vest, and I was just like, oh, that's the cutest little cat. We gotta name him Joe Button. Like, that would be precious. Like, we gonna name that cat Joe Button. It was so cute. But anyway,
that guy.
Joe Budden just goes to show that you can live off one song for the rest of your life.
For your entire life.
That's all.
Use that one song, you get on Love and Hip Hop, get your little podcast or two. Just be angry all the time. Mm-hmm. Have your little vein popping out your neck. Fine. I really
Like,
can't think.
All right. So pump it up. So I'm gonna read these out real quick, and then we can go ahead and close it out. And actually, y'all already spoke on this to an extent. So let's just rehashing real quick, just a little bit. This is from Callie Moore. Everybody comparing the R. Kelly situation to girls who had once messed with older guys in high school are just disgustingly dumb. Well, weren't you messing with or lusting over grown men at 14? Yeah, I also thought the sex on Cinemax was real. The point is, I was a teenager. Teens do dumb shit. We believed the dumb shit was okay. That's what's expected when you're a child. So to blame the teen but not hold the adult responsible. So if it was your daughter, you wouldn't go after the grown-ass man who slept with your baby girl? Y'all will justify any action that doesn't protect or defend our black women. Let's blame the 8-year-olds that were molested next, right? If you believe this sick shit, do me a favor and unfollow me. I don't need your pedophilia energy on my social media.
the hard part is really watching some of your female friends come out, and it's not that deep. And it's like, you know what? That's a lot.
Right.
Yeah, because then it turns into, well, if it were your situation, it's basically like, would they downplay some shit like that if it was you? You know, if it was somebody that you were close to, somebody you care about. You know, they're basically downplaying this, and it's a stranger as far as they're concerned. But what's stopping them from acting like, well, this is nothing. It's not that deep. Downplaying, you know, your trauma.
Mm-hmm. Oh man,
And that's
yeah.
like, you shouldn't even have to be like, well, what if this was your child? You know what I mean? Because that's equivalent to like Jay-Z saying he didn't understand how bad he was hurting women until he had a daughter.
I didn't feel bad about saying the word bitch until I had a daughter. Nigga, come on. For every rapper out there who has said they're disrespect my mom or my sister, I'll break your neck. But I don't give a fuck about none of these other hoes and bitches. Like, wait, what?
Right. Like, what are you talking about?
Like,
You're
wait.
contradicting yourself.
Like, wait, what? Like, how'd that work? What part of that? And it irritates me when folks use that as the reasoning, and that's their only reason. Like, how would you like it if he called your mama a nigga? I probably feel the
like,
same
I shouldn't
way
even
I feel
have
right
to
now.
say that. Like, you should just be a decent human being.
How would you feel if your mama had a crossover and step back jumper? Wait, what the fuck are you talking about, James Harden? Wait, what? Like, I was talking with my homie a couple days ago about how niggas used to really bag on each other, and when it got down to the nitty gritty, the one thing that you could say that would get somebody ready to fight is to talk about their mom.
Mm-hmm. I'm quick.
And moms would always be in the background like, I don't give a fuck about that dirty ass nigga, and you'd be like, no, I gotta protect your honor. Moms will literally tell you straight out, fuck that little snot-nosed nigga. I don't care about him. You keep doing you. And you, no, I gotta fight. And it's like, wait, what?
No, I've had to say that. I've had to say that to my son. Like, I've had to break. Like, do I know them? Do they know me?
Right?
No. Fuck that kid.
Fuck that little kid. Nah, ma. Nah. Like, the first time that happens, your voice changes. Nah, ma. No, they don't be talking about my mama like that. Nigga, fuck you. Nigga,
And your mom.
Cussing out daycare kids. Like, he still pissed the bed. He peed on himself at nap time. Like, we don't give a fuck what he thinks. Fuck him.
Yo. Oh, man. All right, so y'all go ahead and do your shout outs. Cook, Gooch, y'all are always welcome back. Go ahead and let them know where they can find y'all at. Things of that nature.
Okay. Well, you can find me on Instagram at T_and_infant. You can find me on Twitter at Pedagogy of the Depressed. You can find our show also on Instagram at Cook and Gooch Podcast.
Yep. And as always, you can find me on Instagram at Cook_Simmons, and you can find me on Twitter at the Cook and Gooch. I want to say thank you to Shanta and to Rashanii. Thank you so much for inviting us. I had a blast and appreciate the opportunity, and wanted to also let you know, if you're ever in our neighborhood, you are always welcome to come on by. So, looking forward to hearing more from you in 2019, and getting through it or whatever,
Or whatever.
Or whatever.
Devil.
Hey, if you can't, like I said, I just saw a memory pop up on my Facebook from like maybe 2 years ago, where my son, his goldfish, his first pet, had died, and I was trying to console him by talking with him about death and life and all that kind of stuff. But then I realized halfway through that shit that I was really just saying the theme song to the facts of life.
Oh my god!
So
Yes!
So I was like, hey, kiddo, life is fleeting, and sometimes, you don't understand death, and sometimes just like how this happened, and it's unfair, but the sun still shines. You take the good and you take the bad, and you take them both. You know what, kiddo? I love you so much. Give me a hug. Just bring it on in. Because I really was going to say, and there you have the facts of life. And then when he was going to ask me more questions, all the answers were just going to come back to that. It was going to be like, when the world seems like it's not living up to your dreams, that's
find out. Yeah.
the facts of life is all about you, son. All about you. Baby, it's about you. And it takes a lot to get it right. But you're learning the facts of life.
Shout out to Tootie.
Her name was Tootie.
Shout out to Blair.
My wife told somebody that they smell. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that real quick. My wife, I made gumbo for Christmas because apparently that's what black folks do now.
Yep.
So I made gumbo for Christmas, and it was screaming. I made it in my Instant Pot, and then poured it into a bigger pot and just killed the game. But my wife took some of it to work and put it in the microwave and cooked it up. And one of the old black women in the office said, "This office smells like twat."
Holy
First of all, that's an old word.
Twat is an old. There's twat and there's tunky.
Aroma. Yes.
Twat and tunchi. Those are two words that you only hear from 98-year-old women.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, with that, anybody whose birthday is today, happy Twat Emergence Day. My wife hit me up and she was so insulted. She was like, I was cooking the gumbo in the microwave and they said it smelled like twat. And I was like,
go from there. Like, what can you say?
I was like, baby, that's when you know the gumbo cracking. If you can make sausage smell like twat, you're doing it right.
Oh my gosh.
That's what she focused on now. Like, it was delicious, so it was all worth it. It just is what it is.
But going forward, I'm gonna call her in every time I'm cooking gumbo. Going forward, and I'm be like, baby, does this smell like twat? Put your nose into it. Put your face into it. Does it smell like?
No.
Oh wow.
Okay, it's got that vibe.
No, we gotta turn the car around. We gotta turn it around. We gotta go back. We can't go this way.
With that said, Shante, go ahead and do your shout outs.
Yeah, shout out to Cook and Gooch being on the show. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's been great. And shout out to everybody who listens to the show. Happy New Year. Thank you for rocking with us. Mm-hmm. Thank you for coming back for 2019. I don't know. We're going to continue to be black. Yes. That's the most I can give you right now.
Yes. We are unable to be anything but black. I mean, we can try, but why? Like, seriously, if y'all haven't figured out the word black podcast yet, y'all can kiss my entire ass. I think that's a black enough statement as it is. I haven't heard a white person say they can kiss my entire ass. I hear white folks saying shit like, let me tell you something, buddy.
As they put their hand on their pull their knockers up.
I literally heard a white woman say she was miffed about something, and I haven't been able to function around her ever since.
I love that. I love it.
Miffed.
I've been walking around the office saying, you know what, my tip? They hate it.
You got another thing coming, buddy.
Oh, man.
Also, well, let me tell you something, Buster Brown. Oh, God. Cook, Gooch, thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate it. I honestly didn't think I was going to laugh at all this episode. So that just shows the power of y'all and Shante together. Y'all are like Voltron. I do want to say to everybody who's listening that it is imperative that at this time you take time out to check in on the folks that you either know or suspect may be going through something. Because your words or your ear may be enough to bring them into the light, even if it's for a little while. And I can tell you, as somebody who experiences it, that for somebody who lives in darkness, even a few seconds of light is everything. So don't be afraid of what's going to come from their mouth. Don't be afraid of feeling emotions. Just be aware that your friend needs a friend right now. And it is incumbent that somebody reach out, because telling them to reach out to you when they're feeling low is kind of impossible. If y'all need us, you can inbox us on Facebook. We're available as Single Simulcast on Facebook and on Twitter. And if you need us, just if you need to talk, I'll inbox you my telephone number. You can call. I'll call you, whichever one it may be. But we need to make sure that in winter, in this day and age, we are not leaving anybody behind if we can help it. Again, this is Single Simulcast, episode number 327. She Shante, I'm Rashanii. That's Cook and Gooch. Y'all be good. We're out. Peace.
This is Single Simulcast.
Don't know by now, did you say?